Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. The new musical comedy, It Shoulda Been You, has come to Broadway's Brooks Atkinson Theatre. Under the direction of David Hyde Pierce, the cast includes Tyne Daly, Harriet Harris, and Lisa Howard. And we're here on opening night to celebrate with the company. Okay. Welcome home to Broadway. How does it feel?
It feels great. Like, you know, breaking in a new home or an old home, or it's fantastic. I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm happy to be back, and it feels great.
Okay, what was today like? You know, returning to Broadway. What was your day like before you got to the theater?
Well, Neil let me sleep in, which was amazing. He's been amazing, taking the reins with the dad, you know, being the other dad. And then I got up. I wrote a bunch of cards. Went to the gym. Had a workout, big stretching workout. And I had a bunch of pre-interviews for a bunch of press I'm doing this week. And then got to the theater early, distributed gifts, did another warm-up, and it was, you know, a relaxing day. It was nice.
Okay, so just being on stage tonight again, what it meant to you, opening night again on Broadway.
It means everything. Not only am I so glad that it's over and all the changes and all the rehearsal is over, you just get to do our show and play every night. It feels just great to be back where I feel I belong.
Really? And to work with this cast.
Are you kidding me? To come to work every day? I'm so blessed. You know, usually during a show, there's usually like a few people that you could say, you know, you take them or leave them, but there is not a bad person in this group. I just love going to work every day. It doesn't feel like work. It really doesn't. It's a blessing.
Congratulations. It's opening night. You look gorgeous. How do you feel tonight?
I said it before, but I'm on cloud nine. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. So much love coming into the theater, flowers and presents and cards, and my family's here to support, and you know, it's a kind of a magical night.
To be given a role like this, it's the perfect melding of performer and piece. I mean, was it all surreal tonight?
A little bit. We had a cast moment on stage. And I didn't expect it, but I got teary and I started crying. I was like, well, now I have to redo my makeup, because it is that. It's the role that you wait for, you know. And yeah, I got a little emotional tonight. I didn't think I would. I don't know why, but I was like, I gotta hold it together, you know, especially at the end scene. Well, I won't say too much, but.
But it's a beautiful scene. Just tell me what it's been like working with this company and working with David Hyde Pierce as your director.
He's a dream. He's so sweet and funny, and he just knows how to communicate and ask for what he wants and admit when something doesn't work and try something new and create a very free, creative atmosphere.
And working with the cast.
Sierra is my roommate. I love her. Tyne, my mom. I couldn't ask for anything better. It's a powerhouse cast, and I just feel lucky to be on stage with them.
What has this whole experience been like for you with working on this musical?
Boy, it's hard to sum up. It's challenging because it's always a lot of new stuff, a lot of changes. You have to be very flexible, adapt. You come in one day and say, oh, we're going to move this over here, we're going to take that out, we're going to add this, and you go with it, because that's what you do with a new piece. But we have a team that you know, makes it as smooth and easy as possible, and a cast that has fun doing it. So it's been a great experience in that regard.
And working with David Hyde Pierce as the director.
Well, it's funny. I did curtains with him, and I told him back then, I don't know how he does it, but no one works harder and no one goofs around more at the same time. And he was able to do that as a director too, which I think was terrifically beneficial to the show.
It's opening night. How do you feel?
I mean, like a guy at a wedding. I mean, buoyant. Like the proper couples met and merged, and we are as happy as a company could be.
Playing these roles, it must be so much fun to switch hats.
That's a blast. It's nice to completely lose yourself in two completely different people, and David Hyde Pierce has made that possible. So we're a happy company.
Okay, working with David Hyde Pierce as a director during this whole process, what's it been like for you?
He speaks the actor's language. You know what I mean, Richie? I mean, he knows, he has impeccable taste, and he knows how to direct us into the directions that are going to be most rich, and we'll find the most gold. So, you know, it's been nothing but joy.
And working with this cast.
Well, I mean, Chip Zien, Tyne Daly, Harriet Harris, it never ends. I mean, it is a lovely, lovely group of people. I mean, we're looking forward to every successive show. It is a joy, and it's a privilege. So, happy Broadway.
Tonight is your true Broadway debut. You made it. How does it feel?
I mean, to take this long is a little ridiculous, but you know, when you go through the dark times and come out in such a glorious way, in an entrance for the ages, you know, you cannot help but to feel pretty damn good about it.
You know, for people who may not know, you were supposed to make your Broadway debut in that beautiful new production of Neil Simon's Broadway Bound that closed in rehearsal.
Right.
I got to see the first half of it, which was phenomenal. I would have loved to have seen you in this. So you finally made it, and in a musical.
And in a musical. I mean, yeah, I mean, totally different, you know, totally different thing. But so thrilled that it can be this too, because it's such a great it's such a great showcase for me. It's such a great role. They've written it so well. I could not have asked for a better Broadway debut.
And being directed by David Hyde Pierce.
I know, like, you know, the Mother Teresa of show business. Everybody loves him for a reason. He is such a genuine, saintly kind of person that I am in the roster of the people who sing his praises till the end of time. He's so good.
Okay, Broadway opening tonight. How do you feel?
I feel incredible. I mean, the other 12 people on stage that I'm joining on a Broadway stage blows my mind. I mean, I have to pinch myself time and time again to when I look around and see who's on stage with me. I've spent 4 years in the ensemble of Broadway shows. Stepping out into a principal role is absolutely incredible. I could not feel luckier or more blessed. It's really exciting.
So tell me what you love about the role that you play.
So I play Greg Madison. He's the best man. He's the best ever best man, and he's a little bit of a goofball. What I love about Greg is that as an actor, there are no rules when it comes to him. He is so outside of the box and so different that really, like in the rehearsal process, when I came up with an idea, every idea I came up with, it was like, yes, do that, and then go further, and then go further. So every idea I had, it was like, try it out. And David Hyde Pierce he was like, yes, you're so full of ideas, try everything that you do. And it's been a lot of fun. And a lot of those goofy ideas that I thought might be too silly are still in the show today.
Good for you. I was going to ask you, what is it like working with David Hyde Pierce as a director?
David Hyde Pierce, so before we started rehearsals, all I heard from people was how wonderful David Hyde Pierce was. Everybody talks about he's the most generous, wonderful human being you've ever heard. So much so that I started rolling my eyes when I would hear it. But I am now joining the masses saying David Hyde Pierce is one of the most wonderful, unique human beings you've ever met. I'm actually sad we're opening because it means he's done with his job and we won't see him. For 4 weeks of previews, he was standing there off stage as we finished the show, and I'm so sad I'm not going to see him because he's just kind of this bellows that breathes life into all of us, and he's an incredible guy. He's got incredible timing. He's so funny off stage and on. It's just, I would believe any word coming out of his mouth.
What's the whole process been like working on this show?
Well, you know, the thing is, we've been guided by David Hyde Pierce, as we fondly call him DHP.
I love it.
And the thing about it is that everything we've gone through, he's also gone through. So he's enormously kind, enormously helpful, and when he gives you a direction or a note, you think like, damn, why didn't I think of that? And it always works. And his sweetness has sort of pervaded the whole experience, and so it's been an absolute joy from beginning to end. And I have to say one other thing. The greatest thrill in my life to play Tyne Daly's husband. You know, who would have ever imagined? I mean, you know, and she's a radiant force of nature. She's so exciting, such a specific actor. I'm like a lazy, messy guy. I like to kind of just loosey-goosey around the stage and hope something happens. And she's so specific and so such a hard worker, and then also so smart and so funny to be around. And so that's also been. I used to be, years ago, I was the assistant district attorney on Cagney and Lacey. I don't. Yeah, I mean years ago.
Full circle.
Yeah, and so I knew her, but I didn't know her in this way. So it's just been for me just a great thing.
Taking your bow tonight.
Yeah.
Do you remember what you were thinking?
I was just thinking like how cool. You know what I was really thinking? This is sort of not to be, but I lost my mom when I was 20 years old. And I was thinking tonight how proud she would have been just to have seen all of these shows and how much fun she would have had tonight. I was thinking about her, to be honest.
She's there in spirit, you know that.
I believe that. And I still think about her a lot, and I hope that's true.
First of all, welcome to Broadway. Welcome back to Broadway as a director. How does it feel tonight?
Well, we're excited.
I think I'm getting more and more excited as the night goes on. I mean,
your enthusiasm is very infectious,
really
so thank you. Yeah.
You have put together such an incredible cast and creative team. I mean, look at your cast for this.
Yeah,
I know.
They are actors.
Really, in every department, all of our cast, our designers, it's really, that's what makes for a really rich experience in the theater, when you have all these amazingly complex, wonderful actors bringing so much to their roles, and yeah, we lucked out.
Everybody talks about the David Hyde Pierce fan club, and I said I was at the head of a line. Everybody has loved working with you on this project, and they all heard all these incredible things about how you're the mayor of Broadway, and you're like the nicest guy to work with. Everybody has had the time of their life working with you on this. Just so you know, if they haven't told you already.
I'm glad. It's been a joy for all of us, and.
Am I going to have to call you mayor at home?
No, I don't think so. I think that's.
Okay, so my final question is: when you took your bow tonight on Broadway, do you remember what you were thinking?
What are we going to do with these flowers? That's what
Right. It doesn't get better than this, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
What has this whole experience been like for you?
Oh my gosh, first of all, I'm working with one of the most amazing casts like in the history of a Broadway show. First of all, David Hyde Pierce directing his directorial debut on Broadway, amazing. And then we're working on a comedy, a wonderful madcap comedy set on a wedding day. I couldn't be happier.
A lot of what you do is with Nick Spangler. What's it like, your cohort?
It's so great. I love Nick. He's so creative and courageous and fearless and fun and just ready to jump in and do any and everything. So we really work well together. I like it a lot.
What were rehearsals like working with this company?
Amazing. Some days zany. We walk in and David would go, let's play volleyball today. And so we would just play a game of volleyball or, do a seating arrangement or do a mock wedding dinner or something like that. It was really wonderful, creative, and very collaborative.
The show. And working on an original musical and working with your director, David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah, there's just nobody better. He's just one of the most amazing humans on this planet, and just so kind and so loving, and encouraged us to just love and respect one another from the very start and be such an ensemble. So none of us are ever alone out there, It's just incredible. Yeah.
Working with this company.
This company is something else. I keep being like, if I could have told my young musical theater self that one day Chip Zien is my dad and Tyne Daly is my mom and stuff, Lisa Howard's my sister, it's like it doesn't make any sense, but it's so amazing. So I just feel like, is this real life?
It's like fantasy casting. Like, I want Tyne Daly to play my mother in something, Chip to play my dad, and now it's happening.
This is the stuff that you think about, when you're in college majoring in musical theater, and watching shows on spring break. It's just what you. And Harriet Harris. I mean, I've gone off on her about Thoroughly Modern Millie because but I knew her from X-Files. Yeah. I knew her from X-Files.
Playing musical comedy, the audience howls through this.
I can't even tell. When I hear them, it's just from the very start, it's like, ha ha ha, and I'm like, oh, it feels so good. I feel like we're generating this positive, loving vibe, and that is as healing as going to the doctor. But go to the doctor too.
Okay, so when you took your bow tonight, do you remember what you were thinking?
I was beaming like I was when I first saw you. I just felt extremely grateful. Grateful.
Well, how do you feel tonight? What are openings like for you?
Well, they're weird because they're skewed. They're not really real. You're still playing the play, but everybody gives a lot of presents to each other and gets all excited. And then if you're a senior like me, you go and you say, it's the second show of the week, and we got 2 tomorrow. Let's get real now. Let's be.
What has this whole experience been like for you? You look like you're having the time of your life working on this show.
Well, that's my job. But also, I'm having a real good time. I love my company. I love David Hyde Pierce. I much believe in this play and the music. So it's a beauty party. It's really, and also to have a good time is one of the great uses of theater. sometimes you have to think, and sometimes you have to do, you know. But I'm kind of righteously sick of everybody talking about the dark version. Let's talk about the dark version of My Fair Lady. I mean, please. You know, how about the light version? How about the? So this is also not a version of anything else. It's its own story. It's brand new. And to be part of that, I've never done that before. I've never helped give birth to a brand new musical. I've done revivals. We talked about this the last time we saw each other. So that's the fun that is new.
Playing this fun role, how much fun is she to play?
Oh, it's great. I think I look at everybody's part and I go, I bet that's the fun part. And then I bet that's the fun part. And then I think, no, I've got the fun part. But everybody does. Everybody's got wonderful moments, and we get to share in this terrific experience. You know, it's not at the end of the show. We really are all together, and it's very segmented before. There are people in the show that have very big parts that I never ever talk to, and then we're, you know, but you know so much about them by the time you get there, or even if they're strangers, you know, you wish them well, and you want to interact with these people. So,
and to hear the laughter in the house must be amazing.
I think it's very rare. I've been in a lot of funny shows, but the power of that sound always surprises me. And it is something that I just think, that's great. I never really hear applause because I'm just not tuned to it. My ear just doesn't hear it the same way. But laughter, I just think that's wonderful. And we've done something great for people. They're laughing so hard, and that's wonderful.
Something